What's up guys, EFL League 1 Hub here, and today I'm just going to go over how I record my podcast, because I thought it would be a nice way to end off a week of uploading every day, which has been quite tough, to be honest. The notes have probably been the hardest thing, but anyway, I'll get into what I do with that. But I'll start off with how I record. And so the way I record is I use an app called Anchor, and I simply found it on the Play Store, and I downloaded it, looked around and thought, oh, this looks pretty good, I'll see if I'll use this. And as I was looking at it, I quite liked it, and so I tried it out, and that's what I've been using since I've started. It's a pretty simple app to use. On it, you just sign up, and then there's three buttons at the bottom. There's listen, tools, and then there's another one. But you can press on tools, and you can make your podcast more fancy than I do. I've not so far experimented with how to make it more fancy, but if the podcast was gonna be longer and I had someone else on, I would probably make it more fancy. There is a way to record while you're at different places, but I'm not sure yet how to start it once that person has joined. So I'm still looking for answers on that. And hopefully then once that works, I can try get somebody on, maybe with me, to join us on the podcast. Anyhow, how I start off is I usually make notes. I'd say 90% of the time before I record, I go and make notes. That's just for more fluency. Otherwise, so you don't hear clicks all the time. And I know yesterday I didn't make notes. Well, not yesterday, but the day before I didn't make notes. That was because I didn't have much time to record. It was Monday's video. I didn't have much time to record, and so if I'm in a real rush, I skip the notes and use my laptop to find what I need to. And so in some videos you might hear a click or something. That's just all that is. But usually I make notes, so I look at different football apps, look at what I need to look at, whether it be the main app I use is OneFootball, but I do like other apps, and I do use other apps sometimes, but as I said, the main one is OneFootball. So I make my notes, and that's the toughest part of it, I think, really. Well, not the toughest. It's definitely up there, definitely joint top, if it isn't the toughest alone, because it takes about 30-40 minutes to make notes, depending on what I'm making notes on. And so that's definitely what takes the longest in the recording process. So I make my notes, and then I do that on just plain paper, nothing fancy, just plain paper. And I've got them in front of me while I'm recording. And so I use headphones to record, that have a microphone on them. That's because the audio quality is slightly better. But it always turns out a bit worse, and I'll explain why in a minute. But so yeah, I'll record through my headphones, I'll look over my notes, and then it depends on how long the video is. I'm at the moment recording probably all my videos so far have been longer than 5 minutes. The shortest being 5 minutes 30. But I record with my headphones through the mic on Anchor, and then once I'm on Anchor, so the actual podcast itself always goes live on Anchor before it goes live on YouTube, and that's because, so after I've recorded the podcast, I save it as a segment, and so usually on Anchor you can record different segments and then put the segments together. I don't do that. All mine are in one take at the moment. Yeah, all mine are in one take at the moment. Mainly because that's... sorry, excuse me. Mainly because in the future with journalism and commentary in particular, you don't get second chances, and so I think it's better practice to record just first time. So I record through Anchor, then so I save it and it uploads onto Anchor without doing the segment. And then after that, then comes the complex part. So if you download the recording off Anchor, which I have done before, you end up with an audio file, and you can't upload an audio file to YouTube. So what I end up having to do is record my screen my screen, and so I record it playing back on Anchor. That's the blue bit you'll see on all the videos when it plays back, and that's why the audio at first wasn't good, because I didn't record with my headphones, and I didn't turn the volume all the way up on my phone, which made it really quiet, as was pointed out to me. So yeah, I turn the volume all the way up. I turn off my notifications so notifications don't pop up. There's this app now which I've got on my phone to help with YouTube. That's if I'm doing a normal video. If I'm doing a video that is like the clips of Blackpool Homecoming, I had to find an app to put them together. I'll get rid of that, but in yesterday's video, I think it was, or it might have been Monday's, you'll have seen an ad pop up, and there's not much you can do about it, so that just popped up on the screen recording. So it can be slightly irritating, but it is what it is, so I have to script. At the moment, I am looking for better ways to record, so if anybody knows any accessible via a phone, if you just put it in the comments, that would be great, and I'll test it out maybe within the next week, and there might even be credit for who gives me the idea. But yeah, I just screen record it, and then so I end up having to do double the time on the podcast. So I have to record the podcast and then re-record the podcast basically, but without me actually speaking. And then it's just a case of going onto YouTube and uploading it, and it depends on how long the video is. It usually takes about 4 minutes to upload, 4 or 5 minutes to upload, and then, but if it can take slightly longer if the video's on the longer side. But yeah, it's a pretty simple process. The only complex bit is making notes. The longest I've making, like, from the start when I started producing my notes to having it uploaded on YouTube was an hour long. So it can take a while, but usually it's a alright process. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. It's a bit different, so please leave a like and subscribe if you've enjoyed. But for now, I've been EFL League One Hub. Goodbye.